I'll just talk for maybe 5 minutes just to give you a bit of background about myself. Obviously there are some handouts there, but I'll just give you my brief version of my life history, if you like, in 5 minutes or less. I'll condense it down very much. But the thing that I like to do the most is just hear questions and hear what people are thinking or what people are thinking about a whole range of issues. And I'll talk a bit about that in terms of the process that I've had since I started the election campaign on the 22nd of May. So very briefly, just on myself, I'm a 4th generation local, started my second business when I was 21 years of age. My first business I started when I was 12 years of age. When I was at school, I had no money, our family wasn't that rich, and I was the youngest of 8 children, so we didn't have a lot of money, so you had to kind of make do with whatever you could do. And so I basically came up with an idea. Janet Williams, who owns Dubbo Printing Works now, she was our art teacher, and she was teaching us screen printing, and I actually started doing some screen printing of some BMX t-shirts, because BMX was the go back in the early 80s, so I thought, this is cool, I'll try this. And other friends saw them and they said, that's a great t-shirt, where'd you buy that from? And I thought, oh, there's a business idea in this. So I started making t-shirts and started selling them to school friends. And I didn't realise at the time, but it was a fantastic way to get to university, because when I got to university, I stayed at one of the colleges there, and every second week there was another event, another function. So I ended up doing all the screen printing, had a passion for doing things for the community. I've been involved in the very original Arana Relay for Life. We set a Guinness World Record in that. I was involved in DCDC. I was the chairman of DCDC back in the early 2000s. I'd learned from mum and dad just to help with things in the community. Mum was always involved in things like PNF. Dad was the president of the Greyhound Club here for many years. So it was most weekends I was up there helping at the Greyhound Club for whatever next project Dad was working on. In fact, the actual function room at the Greyhound Club is named after Dad for the efforts that he put in as the president up there. So I learned that, and I was involved in a range of things. And in 2010, when it got to the point where I'd sold that major business, I actually spoke to the then Mayor, Alan Smith was Mayor, and he said, I've done 7 years now, Matt. He said, I think I've done enough. I'm not going to stand for Mayor next year. And I went, oh, okay. And he was obviously priming me to take over, but it's not his say, it had to be a vote of council. So anyway, I put my hand up in 2011, was elected as Mayor, and hopefully I did a good job, but worked very hard for the next 5 years as Mayor. And then unfortunately, we had an amalgamation, so 45 mayors across the state could do better. And one of the simple examples is the Auditor General's report. You've probably seen that come out already. Back in 2011, Restart New South Wales started, and they said, we're going to allocate billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars, to regional New South Wales. And it's going to be 30% of this fund that we've got. The Auditor General came out only 2 months ago and said, over the last 7 years, the state government has put in 18%. Some years only 14%, but it's averaged out in the last year about 18%, it sits around 17, 18%. So there's another 12% that we just haven't been allocated in regional areas for a whole range of reasons, but really I just think it's a bit of safe seats, and the bush is out there and they'll take care of themselves, and they focus money on putting things like Stadia in Sydney or light rail or projects there which cost a lot of money, which I think we could use better out here. So my driving ambition was not ego driven, it was really about how can I serve the community better, how can I make this community a better place. I had a good track record as Mayor, I think I can translate that into state government. My strategy was a pretty simple strategy, and I don't mind, there might be some National Party people here, you can go back to the National Party and tell them, because it's no big secret. I was just going to go and knock on so many doors over the campaign that I was going to talk to enough people that hopefully I could get enough votes. So on the 22nd of May I said, I'm starting. There's 131 localities in the Dubbo electorate, 17,352.89 square kilometres. It's a big area with 80,000 people in there. So I made the commitment on day one that I'm going to visit every locality. I'm going to talk to people in every locality. As an example, yesterday I went to Mudgee, saw some people there, another hour and a half past Mudgee, mostly on dirt roads that, I ride mountain bikes. I'd be scared riding mountain bikes on some of these roads I was on yesterday. It's very hard to listen while you're talking. So what I'd rather do is, that's hopefully enough of a background to let you know what I'm about, to let you know where my direction is. But what I really want to do is I'd much rather hear from you, I'd much rather hear questions from you, I'd much rather hear your thoughts, your concerns, what you think we can do better, just all of that information. So I'm happy to take those questions, I'm happy to talk to you about that.
I think looking at the big picture, or bigger picture, what motivated you to stand as an independent as opposed to some allegiance to a party?
Very, very easy. I would have lasted about 5 milliseconds in a party. Katrina Hodgkinson, I've got a lot of time and respect for Katrina, and ignore whether you agree with greyhounds or disagree with greyhounds, ignore that part of it. Katrina stood in Parliament as a minister, or she might have been a Parliament secretary, but basically stood in Parliament and said, I don't agree with my party, I'm going to vote against the Greyhounds. And the first day when she did that, I remember the Deputy Premier at the time, our member, who came out and said, I applaud a member of our party standing up for her electorate. Good on her. And the next day, stripped of anything within the party. And I just could not, from a moral, philosophical viewpoint, I could not go into Parliament and say, party first. Everyone sitting in this room, sorry, if your needs match the party needs, happy days. If they don't, sorry, party comes first. I couldn't do it. I just morally, I could not do it. So even if I stood in a party, got elected in a party, first thing that came up that I thought, I know, this electorate needs this, and the party says, no, you're a newie, you just come down this path here, I'd say, no, I'm going this way, and any potential position I would ever have would be gone, and the next time I do it, they'd probably say, well, mate, you're not really a party player, you're out of the game. What I am is a double electorate player. I'm not a party player. I think it's wrong, the way the party has so much sway.
If it's a very tight election and you were elected, you'd be in a better position than if you were in a party, I suppose.
The thing I learned from Tony McGrain was, as an independent, he's never in opposition. And Tony's nickname, his original nickname was Landslide, because he won by 14 votes. But after he'd been there about 2 or 3 months, his nickname was Oliver. Because he used to keep knocking on doors and saying, please sir, can I have another? Please sir, can I have some more? And that's what you want. Other things that you need or you want?
How come your voice hasn't worn out yet? You're always travelling around.
Merry Christmas to you all and a Happy New Year.
Oh.